You're inconsistent because your system is overloaded. Your stress bucket is full. Think of your nervous system like a bucket and your life stressors as the water. You can only remove so much water. Eventually, you need a bigger container. And that's exactly what we're going to cover today. How to actually expand your capacity to handle stress and anxiety without shutting down. Most people try to manage their stress by pouring water out of the bucket, resting more, cutting back, avoiding discomfort. That helps temporarily. If you're new here, my name is Kaye, and I'm a mindset performance coach. And I focus on helping high performers build bulletproof mindsets. I used to be a professional athlete, and a lot of what I teach now comes from the mistakes I made trying to balance life and the constant performance pressure. Most of what I'll share today is what I wish I knew back then. Pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. When stress hits, most people try to avoid the uncomfortable feeling by numbing out or distracting themselves. This teaches the brain that stress is a threat. But that's only true if that's what you believe, because stress is not a negative signal. Dr. Aaliyah Crum specializes in this field, and her research shows that when stress is perceived as a threat, mental and physical performance drop because your body shuts down to protect you. But if stress is seen as a challenge to overcome, blood starts flowing through your veins. Energy and drive increase. Cognition sharpens. This is called good stress, and it's the key concept in understanding on how to leverage stress. And we'll cover this step by step on how to do this in the last section of this video. But first, you need to understand how stress actually works. By the way, everything in today's video is outlined in my stress bucket method. It's a free guide that shows you how to stabilize stress and build a bigger bucket over time. If you want it, comment stress and I'll send it over. Dr. Sharon Bergquist coined the term the stress paradox. Most people think that stress is on a straight line, but really it's on a curve. Consistently avoiding stress actually shrinks your capacity, which leads to understimulation or eustress. Push stress too far too often, capacity drops again. This becomes chronic stress or distress. But expose yourself to controlled short-term stress and your capacity expands. This is eustress. Think of it like lifting weights. Too little causes muscle loss, atrophy. Too much causes breakdown and injury. But just enough and you get muscle growth. Most people are living on the extreme ends of the curve, understimulating in some areas and overstimulating in others. AKA, they have a small bucket and a lot of water. The goal is to reduce those extremes and bias towards short bouts of mild to moderate eustress. I train this daily with something that I call deliberate discomfort. Short bouts of controlled stress plus the right mindset. And I'll show you how to use this. But first, you need to understand a crucial step that most high performers skip. Imagine your body like a construction site. The cells are your workers. Your daily actions are your blueprints. The food is the building material. And your sleep is when workers actually get shit done. Right now, your crew is exhausted. They're tripping over half-built walls, cutting corners, and falling behind. So you don't need more projects. You need to restore resources first. This is called a deload phase. So it looks like reducing training volume to about 70%, swapping hard training sessions for more mobility, yoga, or swimming, prioritizing deep, consistent sleep, and fueling like a high-performance machine. Do not skip or half-ass this step. I talk like this because I'm talking to my 22-year-old self right now. I've fallen victim many times to burning out, and I dug myself into a deeper hole than the hole that I already dug myself into because of my impatience to properly learn how to deload. And no, you don't need another supplement. How long should you stay in this phase? I can't confidently give you an answer. It really depends case by case. But a good rule of thumb is however long you've been feeling the water overflow is about the amount of time you need to allocate to deloading. If you think backing off is weakness, understand this. Constantly redlining your system is quite literally making you more fragile. Recovery isn't weakness. It's what turns effort into adaptation. And adaptation is what strength actually is. Okay, this next section is the blueprint. This is where we retrain the brain and we signal to build the bigger bucket. First is the 4-step reframe when stress hits. 1. Name the sensations. Tight chest, racing thoughts, elevated heart rate. Name all of them. 2. Label it correctly. This is just a signal, not danger. 3. Assign the good stress mindset. This wall isn't here to stop me. It's here to test if I'm willing to climb it. 4. Visualization. How can you use this energy to come up with an intelligent response? Visualize yourself engaging in the appropriate response. Go through these steps every time stress hits. This rewires the brain and the nervous system to start seeing stress as a challenge rather than a threat, which we covered why that's important earlier. With this tool, stress is no longer debilitating. It now becomes your own personal weapon.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
This is the missing piece that most people never learn how to leverage. I call it deliberate discomfort. The key is in understanding that there's a constantly shifting window between eustress and distress. So you're not trying to push as hard as possible. You're trying to push just enough. Being in eustress isn't always obvious. So instead of guessing, we track outcomes. Here's the rule. If you add deliberate discomfort and your sleep, mood, energy, focus, performance, they improve, that means you're in eustress. But if those markers decline, that means you're in distress, and that's your signal to pull back. As your bucket gets bigger, you'll have to increase the intensity or the volume over time. In the gym, this is called progressive overload, and it's the same principle that we use here to grow your stress capacity. Choose one practice every day from these 3 categories. Ideally, rotate across these categories throughout the week. Number 1 is a physical challenge. These are short, intentional discomforts that train resilience both physically and mentally. The second is a mindfulness challenge. Stillness is often harder than movement. Aim for 12 plus minutes or wherever past your edges for you. And 3 is a cognitive challenge. Mental discomforts build focus, duration, and problem-solving skills. Aim for 30 to 90 minutes. I've organized everything you just heard into a simple framework that I use to increase my clients' stress capacity. If you want the stress bucket method, comment stress down below and I'll send it over. Lastly, there's 2 everyday add-ons that I won't cover in detail in this video. But in short, plants contain natural compounds that create tiny challenges for your cells. These tiny challenges actually turn on repair and defense systems that make your body more resilient to oxidative stress. So you want antioxidant-rich foods with every meal. Different colors represent different compounds that signal for your cells to strengthen. And there's so many different examples out there, but my personal favorites are cacao, berries, matcha, and cruciferous vegetables. Going short periods without eating is another powerful eustress signal. You don't need long fasts or extreme protocols. Just aim to eat within 12 hours each day. This is a great way to improve your use of energy, supports cellular repair, and helps recycle damaged or old cells. Let me know in the comments if you have any deliberate discomforts that I didn't mention. I only mentioned the ones that I typically use or recommend, but if you have any unique ones, post it. I would love to know, and I'm sure it could also help anybody else that's looking for more options. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something new, let me know by leaving a like. And if you want to see more mindset performance content, subscribe. As always, eat, train, and think like a beast.